All right, let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the edition of the Eber Farmer Cigar Garage Talks. In the garage today, kind of a weird, very weird weekend. Um, Stuff happened in the international theater, weird. Stuff happened around the homestead, weird. Weather, weird. Work, weird. So, yeah, let's talk about all of it. And suddenly my wife wants to make an announcement. While I'm shooting a video that she knew I was shooting. So, also weird. What are we smoking? What are we drinking? Tonight, we have the Scorched Earth Maduro. That just means a darker wrapper cigar. I thought it was kind of fitting. And it just so happened I just bought brand new beers and Beer Me, American Lager from Oddside. Yeah, so I guess the big news of the day, the big topic going on. This was definitely a hold my beer and watch this moment in the news. I was not expecting this. That we invaded a foreign country and kidnapped their leader. Look at that. That's actually nice. Light beer. See how she tastes. That's not bad. That is an American lager. So yeah, I am not going to sit here and pretend to know a ton about international politics, policies. I don't think anyone actually knows the behind the scenes stuff that was going on that led to us sending a occupying force. I don't know if you call it an occupying force. I guess it was a strike force, right? Sending a strike force into Venezuela to, I guess the words they're using are arrest Nicolas Maduro, the president, the leader, the dictator of Venezuela, to bring him up on a host of criminal charges. Yeah, I mean, I would not have expected that. Like I said, I don't really follow the Venezuela thing as closely as I probably should. I do know we've been escalating a little bit, taking control of some of their ships. We've been putting sanctions on them, returning or trying to return some of the illegals from Venezuela who come into the United States. We're trying to find places to put them. So they can await trial and then potentially so they don't go back to Venezuela, which is, let's be honest, it's not doing well. Horrible place to live. Humanity rights violations everywhere. Just really not good. Not well run. Again, it's kind of a failed government, a failed economic system. They were one of the most prosperous economies in the world for a while. They got into some questionable economic planning, which then led to them people starving in the street. I mean, violence, war, internal civil war. Really sad stuff. Again, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I understand the entire situation, nor do I have deep insider knowledge or whatnot. I do know that this next week is going to be interesting. We invaded a foreign country and extracted a government official. Do I support this action? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know enough about it. I'm sure that it was done for good reason. I do know that a lot of other world leaders will definitely take our president more seriously. As from what I understand, we were threatening to go capture Maduro, arrest him, whatever term you want to use. But I know a lot of other world leaders are now going to take us seriously when we say, you better do this or else. So, will this lead to greater world peace, or is this, some people are saying, the starts of Was this the Hans Ferdinand incident? I mean, Venezuela was aligned with Russia and China, so they have some allies. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen with that one? Is all South America and Central America going to get pissed at us? Are they going to call upon China and Russia for support? Or are they just going to realize that they can't do much? That you poked the sleeping giant enough, he woke up and knocked down your house, and taught you a lesson, gave you a whooping. So are you just going to walk away and be like, well, we learned our lesson? Again, I don't know. I'm still doing some research and learning and some diving down in the topics. Did Maduro need to be replaced? Yep, 100%. He was running that country into the ground at a very rapid rate. Should it have been America to jump in and do that? I don't know. Probably not. No. If I'm going to be completely honest, I think that was a bit overstepping our bounds. I mean, we basically staged a coup, right? Unless we had I don't think the vice president of Venezuela really liked the United States. So, I mean, we're not taking one person out to install another. I don't know. This is going to be, like I said, this is a big wild card. I did not have this on my bingo square of stuff that's going to happen in 2026. I do know, if you are at all prepper minded, you might want to double check your preps. Oil the musket ball throwers. Make sure your powder's dry. Your charges are filled. Make sure that you got your indoor seedlings started, and go buy a couple extra cans of gasoline and kerosene and propane and heating oil, whatever you heat with. I mean, I'm hoping this is so shocking that I'm hoping nothing happens. Like, I'm hoping they're just like, well, that was America's right. Good on you, mate. Good job. You win. And we're just going to let it blow over. But could this start something bigger? I mean, we've seen it in the past. Again, I'm not an international politics specialist. I specialize in homesteading and EMS. Am I duly shocked? Yep. Was I expecting this when I turned on the news tracker? Nope. Did I think it was a joke? Yep. But like I said, all I do know is I'm going to go through this next week. I actually have the week off, which is nice. I'm going to go through, do a couple of prepper projects. Just go reinventory my prepper boxes, and maybe get a few of my propane tanks refilled that I've been putting off, and I got a couple of jerry cans that need to be refilled. Maybe go fill those suckers up. Am I going to panic and start hoarding and panic buying? I don't think so. I'm not seeing that yet. Is it possible? Yeah, sure. Definitely. That could be what's going to happen. But for right now, I'm playing it cool. I'm going to see what the happens in the world stage, kind of monitor the news a little closer than I normally do when I'm on vacation. That's for darn sure. Like I said, I do hope that it's just kind of blows over and world leaders say, well, you know what? Maduro had it coming. Better him than us. And, if Trump threatens something, we need to listen. But who knows? So other than that, things here in the homestead are going pretty good. We're deep in winter. Got a few winter storms coming. Vash man, we got to kind of time it just right to get him back to college before some big winter storms hit. Homeschooling mama is taking off here soon to go help with her father, who had some medical stuff going on. Like I said, I've got the week off to actually do some EMS trainings. Get my license back, as I talked about, getting my teaching cert back. So excited about that. So anyway, yeah. This is going to be a interesting times as the Chinese curse goes. Like I said, I did not have that on my 2026 What the Hell bingo card. So, yeah. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go smoke my Scorched Earth Maduro cigar, enjoy my beer me, hold my beer and watch this. Probably do a little research, watch a couple of videos about this situation to learn what I missed. Anyway, folks, stay safe out there. We'll see you on the next one.